Yeah. Um, Welcome once again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this going and coming. It's quite uh, something I wish I had control over, but we'll work on it. Probably in our next class, we are going to make it far better and friendly. Now, to what we were doing before. So we're actually putting it on. We want it to be mobile friendly. Are we all hearing me? The two persons here already. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir, we can hear, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So now that we have this, what we do is after we were told the other time that anytime we need to do with styling, with fonts and everything, they are always under styling. So under styling, you will see content. We have content. The content is talking about what we have on the page. Now, this is the content. Under content, we will need to go to typography. If we need the time to the typography of this, we want to change the color, we want to change the size, we'll go to typography. You can see digital, you can see label. Digital is the time itself, label is the day, the hour, the minute, the whatever. So if you go there and you see the font size here is not stated there because we have not put anything there, but the width is 400. Now we want to reduce the font size. You can just use the slider to adjust it to any size that you want. Basically, I think the biggest part of it is the digital itself is the one that is too big. So by the time you adjust it, it will fit perfect for a screen. I think with this, we should be able to see it. If you are using a screen, you should be able to see this using this. If you need to, you'll be able to see it. Now, are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, we've got it.
All right. I think now we have this, and this is beautiful enough. Now let's go back and put it on desktop version. You see that our desktop version is not affected still, even though even though our mobile version now is friendly. And of course, see, this is how it's going to be on our tab, which I think is friendly enough. Unless if you feel, okay, the size is small, I want to increase, I want to do this, I want to do that. But for now, with what I'm seeing here, I think it's still okay. Now let's go back to our desktop. Now we need to create the second section now. Okay, let me put it back. Let me close this. So we need to go to the second section. And mind you, there is a space between the up and the left. So when we gave it the space up the other time, we didn't mind giving it the space down. So what we do is we go back to, if you go to our countdown again, you go to advanced, where we added the space for the padding up, then the padding down. Now, if you want to work on the padding down, we'll do the padding bottom. Let's say we want to put it at 10. Let's put it 10 so that we have enough space. Now we have enough space down. Beautiful. Now let's go again. We need to create the second section fast. I want us to go as fast as possible now, so please forgive me. We create the second section. Now we have our second section here. This is the second section. If you check our, let me increase this. If you check this, our navigator, this navigator that I'm moving, you will see that the moment, let me delete it and open it again, you see that something is missing there. Once I click this plus sign, automatically it comes back. See, a section is established already. And in this section, if you click it, you can see that there is a column, but there is nothing in that column. That is why we are not having anything. But this column, what we are having here, we are having a column. This column is actually a two column. A two column in the sense that this is a column on its own. This is another column on its own. Now, this column and this column, they are two different columns, but they are sitting on themselves. And how do I know that? Okay. Okay. Oh my word, wow. Okay, so these are the two columns now. We are having, if you check, we have it here. It's showing, it has already highlighted it, that there is a body of column. That is why you're having it in this blue alignment. That is if you go to the developer option on your Chrome to check from whatever you have here. If you copy this code now and you paste it on any, let's say you are using Elementor, any word editor, you are likely to get a website that will look like this, even from your remote, your remote host, which is your laptop or whatever. You can easily get something like this. So now let's rush down to this place. Let's put what we have here. Now I want to use this section. I want to put, in this section, I want to put two things. Basically, I want to put the first one, which is this. This is actually a list. I designed it using a list. It was designed using a list. So if I come here and I type list in my widgets, in my widget option, I will have list like this coming. I have a list. Are we there? Am I alone? Hello?
No, we are with you. We are with you.
All right. Can we all see it? Can we all see how we got this? Okay. Now that we are with me, let me assume everybody got it. So we have register for masterclass. That was what I did. The list that I created. Register. I register in the first one. Is it capital letter now? I think it's a capital letter. Okay. Let me use a block letter. Register. Then I would like to delete the icon because I will not be using the icon. So I will take the icon away. I will go to the second one and then click on the second list. Register for our. So I use for then I'll take this away. Then master class. Master class. Can I put that together? No, yes, I can put it together. So I've have it like this now. But that is not to say it's looking the way this one is looking. So in that way, what do I want to do? I need the website to look, I need it to look this way. So what can I do? Initially I want to give it the same background, the same black background, because if you check, the background here blends with the one here. It's only the one under this register and everything that is different. So I'm coming here, I'm going to give it the same background. Don't forget, I told you when I want to give that background, you go to the section. You can go here and click on section. Then you go to style. Anytime you want to give background and give this background here, then you use black. We used black the other time and it was a deep black. So if you click it, it's going to match. But this is already, because the font we have here is black. So it's making our writing to be hidden. Now we go back to our icon list. We click on style. If you click on style, you change the font. I told you, anytime you want to change color, you come here to change it. Now we've already deleted icon list. So all the icons that was there, we deleted it. We don't need it. We are going to test. We want to change the color of the text. I'll put it in white, simple white. And now, boom, it's visible. We have it visible. But is that what we want? Is that all that we want? No, we want it to have, we need it to have this border. This is the border. Then we need to change the font size. I think the font I used there, I can still try to remember what font do I think, okay. I will figure it out when I get to the font. I don't know the font I use, but when I get there now, I'm going to check. I think, okay, so let's pick the font directly, straightforward. Now, the font here, if we pick the font, I think I use condense. I will check if it is condense or Roboto. Let me use Roboto. If Roboto brings it or Roboto condense. Oh, yeah, I think I use Roboto condense. Now, the size, you can change the size from still the same drop down. Once you click on that typography, under the typography, you can continue to edit You can put it the size you want. Now, the size of the font, I want it to be big. Of course, it's big, but the line height, you can see the space between the item is not the same one like the space here. This is the space height is too much. So to achieve that, you go to the line space. You see, the line space, I think it should be, the line height rather, the line height should be around, I think 80 is okay. Then the spacing of the item. Let me see what I have here. Then do I want this item? Sorry. How do I want this item to be now? Do I want the style to be normal or bold? Of course, it's normal, but I want a decoration of nothing. I'm not decorating anything. So it's normal. It's normal now. Then I don't need a text shadow. So definitely this text I pick, I think is not condensed bold. Let me check what text I use. Did I write that down? I think it's popping. Popping. Let me try popping. If it is popping, then it will change. Poppins. There are different tests that you need to dazzle with. Z, I think, okay. The test size, I've not actually gotten the test size, but then I'll work on it. I'll still get the test size, the exactly test that I use. So now let me put the border that I have here. This test, I will try to look for the test that I use, but I think it's a bold test. It's one of those bold tests that will give me what I want. No. Okay, please, don't mind the test. We might need to use another test that is just for the purpose of this, because our time is far. So let's use Roboto Condense. We'll get back to that. You can dazzle with the test that you want later. It doesn't have to be the exact test that I use. But what is important is get a test that works fine for you. Now let's do the padding, because we can see that the space between this is a bit more. There is a space here. If you check, there is a space here, but there is no space there. So, sorry, there is a space here, but there is no space in this our own that we have done. So we want to give it a space. What do? We use padding. You can just do a padding. If you go to your advanced, you do padding. That padding will make the item, the inner item. We need to padding it from the left now. Let's say we are padding it by, let me see the padding here. That should be around 50. Yes. So the padding should be around 60. So if we have a 60 padding, now we need to give this border, the border that we have here, to this item. So you go to the icon list, you go down, scroll to border, under border, you can pick solid. Are we together, please? Am I too fast? Yes, I know, but our time. So I will take it all over again once I'm done doing this. I will have to retouch every one of it. So we take border. The border we want to use, we don't want this border to appear in every part. If you see, there is a border that is taking every part of it, but we don't need this border to appear. Where we want the border to appear is on the right-hand side. So what is the width of that border? Let's say, sorry, border radius. The width of the border, the one I want to use is 12. If I want to use 12, let me see, if I put 12 on the top, no, 12 on the right rather. The moment you put it, see, what I have here now is 12. It's bigger than what I'm supposed to get. It is not 12 that I want. So probably okay, it's 120 that is there, sorry. I'm not, I was like, 12 is not supposed to be that big. So what I'm supposed to have should be more than this. So what I'm having now is more than what I anticipated for. So the border is too big. I want to reduce it. This is 12 and I don't want 12. What I want is around 16 or let me say 30. Okay, I think 30 is okay. Now, look at the layout. The layout margin that I gave here seems to be too much for this icon itself. So I want to reduce the padding. I can just make it 10. I think what we have here is around, okay, that should be 15 because what we have here is more than 10. If we have 15, I think this is okay. If we have 15, but this item, the space between here and here is bigger than the space I have in this design that I'm doing. So in that case, I will come here, I will come on this section itself and give it a border. The border here, sorry, a padding. The padding here from the left, that the padding from the left should be around 60. 60 seems to be too small. I give it 70. I think 70 seems to be good. And we can preview what we've been doing since morning on another page so that it will load. You will see the way your website will look. So if you look at it here, what we have here and what we have here, I think the space is too small. By the time you preview, hello, am I there or am I here alone?
We are with you.
But I'm too fast, right? Hello? All right. So this is what I have here. But I want to give it a space because you can see that the distance I gave this one from here, the distance between the date and the register is more than the distance I'm having here. So I will still go back again to the padding. What padding do I need to do now? I want to padding top. I want it to give a distance of 40 from the top. I have that distance. This is too close to the down. I want it to have a distance of what from the bottom, probably 20. I have a distance of 20 from the bottom. But mind you, we are still inside that place. We still need to put the master class and the register. Now let's go back and pick those ones and put it so that we can work on all of it in the same column. Please, I know I've been too fast, but I will send the video so you can watch over and over again. Then you can contact me via the WhatsApp page so we'll do one or two that we need to talk about. So if you come back here, what we need to pick is the text because what we are typing there is a text. You drag and drop in your column. As I've said the other time, I said a section can house as many columns as it wants. Just the way a column can house as many widgets as it wants. Just the way a widget can not handle two. A widget will only handle one item. So a widget, many widgets could be in a column, many column could be in a section, but only one widget could be in a widget. So a widget here is a test, and the test we have here is the master class training, whatever that I put here. So I copied it just to save our time. I don't want to start typing. I paste it here. Now that I've pasted it here, you can see that you can't even see it because it's black. It's black color. So I will go to my test. That's the way we've been doing. Then we change it to white. We put it in white. Okay, we have it in white, but that is not enough because we are having it in one side. Of course, we know our indentation. We want to centralize it. It's in center. We need to change the font. The font I'm having here is Monserrat black, but that is not the font that I use for this page. So I might need to change the font that I use there. And if I want to change that font, I will use Mole. I think I used Mole. It was Mole that I used. I should say, okay, I got that. So I used Mole. So now I think what we're having is looking like it. We have it here. So if that is what I have there, But you can see this and this is not in the same space. This is supposed to be centered. Don't you worry. We'll come back to that. Then I'm still going back to pick my button. I need button because I have a button down here. And the button is a black button, but when you over it, it changes blue. So I'll be picking a button. I'll come here in my search widget and type button. You see how easy it is to design a drag and drop website. So now that I have it here, I want to centralize this button. I'm going to move fast. I'm centralizing it. I'm going to change the background from the style, just the way we've been doing. The background is blue. I put it in black color. It's in black color now. I need from the black color, I want to give it a border. I will put a solid border. The solid border is white, but is it white border that I have here? No. So I want it to be blue. I'll change the color of the border. This is the color of the border. I'll put it in blue. Okay, now I have it. But what I have in my button is not click here. What I have in my button is register. So once I click on the button here, I will go back to the content. In the content, you will see a place that says the text on the button should be click here. And the button I even want to use, I want to use an info button, but don't worry about that. We'll do that in our master class. So you click on, you type register. And once you type register, the button is boom. You see this place that says link. If I did mean what we want to do is a link outside of this place, we'll copy the link and paste it. But we are not doing a link outside of here. So I'm going to leave it. We will come back to put something there. But when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. For now, I want us to leave this here. So going back, I want to do the spacing of this, and I want to put it in the middle. No. So I want to put these items, I want to align them to be in the same middle, not just the way this one is. Oh, I forgot something. There is a spacer here. Can anybody see what I'm touching?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. That spacer is actually nothing. They are just things that make your website look a form of attractive. You know, you want to do some espana to your website. That's what a spacer is. So if I bring in a spacer now to this website, this spacer is 50. I want to achieve what I did there. You can dazzle with it in different ways, but I want to give it a border. I give it a solid border. When I give it a solid border, you can see it has changed. You can see that it has changed to a solid border. But the solid border I gave it, I want it to be, I want to change. I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be in form of a circle. So what do? I will change the radius. Are you with me?
Yes, so I would say.
Okay. But then, before I change the radius of before I change the radius, I want to make it stable in the sense that if I put it somewhere, it will be able to stay there and wait for me. So when you go if you go to your layout under content, you will see position. Under position, we have absolute, we have fixed. If you put it in absolute, it will remain wherever you put it. Okay, now that I put it in absolute, under absolute, another things will come out and tell me that, okay, now you put it in absolute. What do you want to do with it? I will change it to, if you put it in full width option, it will take the whole space. If you put it in inline, it will be inside an object. But I want to put it in costume because I want to work on it. Then I want the size of that thing to be small. See, you can see the width now. This is it here. This is it here. Now, I want the width. See, once I'm moving, the width is increasing. If I reduce it, it stays. So this is the width. This is where it is. I want the offset. The offset, I want the offset, the horizontal offset. I want it to be here. I don't want it to be in this side. If you want it to be in this side, you leave it there. But here in our in what we are designing, this is where we put it. So I'll come here and put it here. You will see the right alignment. If you click on the right alignment, permit me to move this out. Permit me to move this out so that you'll be able to see. So I'll put it in the left alignment. In the left alignment, I want it to be, the offset to be 5. Yes, I think 5 is okay. If the offset is 5, then I want it to be I want it to always remain at the bottom. And then in the bottom, I want the offset to be, should it be 12? Okay, so that is 12 from below. Are we together?
Yes, sir, we are together.
But I'm too fast. Right? Hello, Blue, am I too fast?
Kind of, but we understand.
All right, sir.
Let's go. All right, because of the time.
All right, sir. So now I have this. I want to turn this thing to be a circle. How do I achieve that? I'll go to my advance. In my advance, there is one we call radius. Of course, every one of us knows that when you want to calculate a circle, when you want to calculate the perimeter of a circle, you want to calculate radius. That means when you want something to be in form of a circle, the radius is usually the mid of that item. Now, calculating the radius, you go to border. When you get to border, you see border radius. What border radius do I want to achieve here? That is in the spacer. What border radius do I want to achieve? The border radius that I want to achieve, I will not know until I put it and check what it's going to look like. Okay, I have 60 and it's still looking like this. I don't know. I have 80 and I think it's looking better, but let me use 90. Now that I have 90, I think I have a perfect, almost like a circle. You can see it. But I think this is smaller, that is bigger. Not to worry. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. But then, before then, there is something that I want to see. This is thicker, that is thinner. So you go to the width of that border here, the width of the border, it is in solid. But if you increase the width, let's say the width is 12. You see, you put it in width 12, it increases. Just, I think 12 is okay. Yes, 12 is okay. If the width is in 12, now you want to reduce it because it's too big. You come back here in the spacer and do what? And reduce it. But mind you, when you reduce it in the spacer, you can see that it's forming an oval rather than a circle. So you have to go back again. And what we want to achieve is a circle, right? So you have to go back again to your advance and change the border. The border we have here, that was 90. You might put it in maybe, 800 seems to be too big. 80, let me try 60. Okay, let me try 120. Oh, I think the 120 is too big. So, and as well, you can use your mouse. Okay, one thing I should not forget, you can use your mouse to adjust it this way. You can see, once you click and drag, it's to the direction you want it to wind and trying to. But when you are doing that, you will notice something here. When you come here, we change the border here, we change the spacer here, but now we are having it at 124. So if you have it, if it is 14, it will be small. If it is 150, it will be taller. If it is 124, that is what we are having. So that is where you have your perfect circle. So I think we are close to it here, but we are not done yet. Okay, so now we are going back to the border of this spacer. The border here. Go to the border of the spacer. I said spacer, sorry, the icon list. We need the border. What border are we giving it? I think the border, this is the border radius that we gave it, but not the layout. The layout border is what I want to talk about rather. The padding. We gave it padding of 15 from here. Then we give it a padding of what's from the left, from the right rather. Let's give it a padding because you can see that it has already gone, it has gone beyond the spacer. If you check the box that it is. So let's assume that you give it a space of the padding of 20 from there, 20 from the right, and sorry, please. Okay, I think this is too much. 40. Now, this is what we have. I think we have something close to what we need here, apart from the font that I could not get because of my time. If not, I will still toy with the text that I use there. Okay, all right. Let me change the width of the text to 900. By the time I change it to 900, I should be able to get what I want. I think I have, and I just, boom, that is what I want. That is what I've gotten. So we have it at 900. Let's preview the page. You can preview it this way. Mind you, all what you have been designing since morning has just been for, okay, this is the outcome of what we have been designing since morning. Mind you, what we've been designing since morning is just for desktop. We have not worked on our mobile. So, but if you check, the space I have here, the space I have in between this border and the register is big, bigger than what I have here. So I will go back to my icon list and give it the space between the border. If I click the space between the border here, that is the border space. I think I have 30. If I change it, sorry. Is it okay? No, it's not okay. Is there 20? No, 200, still not okay. So I want the border, I want it to give a space that at least will be visible for every one of us to manage. Sorry. This is the space between item, text, and all right. I'm sorry, my system is just not responding at the moment. Why, I don't know. Oh, okay, I think I was clicking the wrong icon. So this is what I'm supposed to have. The space here and the space here. You can see once I'm moving this indent, the text indent is giving me the space that I want. So now I'm able to have the same thing. But what we have been doing so far has been for our system. We have, sorry, for desktop version. We've not tried the mobile. Let's come to the mobile. You can see how horrible our work has been since morning. Whatever we've been designing since morning, we've been designing on our own.
Worst.
Gabi. So now we need to do a little work. But the thing is, it will give you what you have been doing to tell you, okay, this is what I have now. Now, I want to change the topography. The topography in the sense that I need to reduce the size. The size there before was 40. I want you to reduce the size, the font size to like, let me put it in 40. Sorry, it's been 80. I want to reduce it to 20. Okay, I have 20. The width is still 900. Now the line space is too tall. I want to reduce the line space to maybe 1 point something. Okay, and I want it in such a way that it will take the whole master class will be on the same line. The way this one is, that is the way I want the master class to be. So I will go back. I'll go back to the advance where I was putting the border and putting the margin. The margin, I will change the margin to 20. That is the margin top. No, sorry. I don't want it to be total margin, because if I didn't remove that, it's now I have the margin to be, it's still at the 0. Then the padding from here is 20. I want to remove the padding. I want to put it at what padding? I think the padding I have now seems to be okay, but the padding, you can see that it has shifted to only one side. The other side here is not affected. So I'll click on the whole column, come here, then put the padding around the item. I want it to be equal. Let me put it 20. All right, sorry. The padding around item. Okay, let me take away the padding from the box. I think the padding from the box is what is affecting us. The padding from the box is 40. 70 from the top is okay, but 40 from the side is too much. So I should have like 13. 13 seems to be okay all around. So there'll be 13 here, 13 here, 13 here, 13 here. So I think what we're having now is looking a bit better, but not good because of the font size of what we're having here. So we need to reduce the font size of this one and increase the font size of the register. So in reducing the font size of this one, I will go to the text typography, then I will reduce the size here. Let's say we are putting the size, okay, that is the width. The size to be, will be 14. Is 14 too much? I think 14 is still too much. What was it? Let's use 12. I think 12 is okay. Then let's go back to our content here. Then put the spacing. The spacing is okay. The text, let's give the text a bigger topography. The topography, the size is what? Is it visible now? Are we together, please?
Yes, we are together.
So I think the line height is too much. The space here is too much, right? It's not looking like it is the same item. Abi?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. So in so doing, we reduce the line height. The height of the item is in 1.7. Let's put it in 1.3. 1.3. I think it's compact now. We can decide to change if this is not visible enough. Okay, let's work on this before this one locks us out. We're having it at 124. We can have this to be 60, almost half of it. And I think it's not that bad. It's just that it's not too good. So I can use my mouse to edit it and we still have almost the same thing. It refuses to stay. So don't you worry. Come here. The width is fine. The offset has entered minus. That is why it's like that. So now that I've put the offset back to -12, I think it's fit to go. So for the mobile, I think we are progressing as well, right?
Yeah.
But we are not, something is happening. Why is nobody asking that? Why is this button not changing? Unlike this one, this changes blue. What happened? What did we miss out? We missed out the overing. It's called overing in button. So we go back here in the style. I said it that whenever we're in style, we have to, anytime we need to do with color, we go to overing. Everything you do on the normal, you can just go to overing. Overing, in the overing, the color, there is no color for the overing now. So if you pick a color, the moment we pick color blue for the hovering, so when you hover it, it's blue. But we need the